This is a
Squad.
What's up? What's up?
That ball is belted. Welcome in Carlos Gomez. Hello. Goodbye. Ay, 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 ay.
Down the middle. Butler makes a move.
Oh man, yeah. We rocking now for real. Yeah. BS3 Sports. Okay. Sports news, get it first when you're getting off of work. Even when you're at work, acting like you're working hard when you're hardly working. I'm a maverick like Dirk, getting Franklins like Kirk. Hold up, boy. X Squad, you don't know them boys? Being talking facts on every topic. Overall, we just talking noise, just being boys. Covering Texas sports in them tall heels. That with the fake pass over to Elliott. Better guard your grills like a car for real. Yeah, Cowboys gonna bring a bowl back, Lord, will it? Yeah, Mavericks gonna bring a ring back with Mark in it. We live sports, we talk sports, we dream sports, we eat sports. The teacher about to teach the course. Welcome to BS3 Sports. Ay, 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 ay. Gross. Oh, man, yeah.
Welcome to the BS3 Sports Show this Friday right here on X Squad Radio. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Shout out to Mo Cheese. Shout out to Ced Galloway first in the chat room. Miss Mocha Bella, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. Great show by Fish and Grits that just got off of the network, X Squad Radio. So shout out to the network's X Squad Radio No Phony Podcast Network. Title of today's show, Trades, and More Trades. So we had the trade deadline yesterday. We didn't see one of the big fish, or the big fish, Anthony Davis, get moved. But we did have a lot of trades. So we got a lot we're going to be talking about. We got a lot of other topics also that we're going to get into. We got UFC 234. We also have XFL news. We got the Alliance American Football League starting. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Some NFL news, though, first that I want to touch on. So Antonio Brown with being in the news, there was allegedly a domestic dispute that happened in mid-January. So first of all, this seems like this is more so perfect timing for people that want to sign him, perfect timing maybe for the Steelers. I don't know if I'm being a conspiracy theorist and saying maybe this is somehow leaked by the Steelers. I mean, I would not be surprised because they know that they're going to have to figure out a way to deal him, and what better way to diminish his value than to put out information like this. So I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know, but it just seems like this is very, very, I'll say very again, very opportune timing for some news to come out about a domestic dispute involving himself. So that one kind of caught me off guard there. He will end up playing somewhere going into next year. Where is it? That's what everybody wants to know. Sounds like San Francisco may be a potential spot. Sounds like, him going to, people linked him to the Cowboys. I don't know if that would happen. But there's definitely some areas and some teams that he's potentially linked to. So we'll see what happens with Antonio Brown. But I just thought that was very interesting timing, that as he's going through an issue with the Steelers, that this information would be released at that point in time. The Patriots, the Super Bowl Patriots, have hired ex-Ohio State defensive coordinator Greg Schiano as their new defensive coordinator. I don't know how you should feel about this, being that the defense for Ohio State wasn't really that great last year, giving up a lot of points. So we'll see what happens there. Mochi says best trade of the day was Russ for Ben. It allows the Steelers to move him and not look back. No details released, nothing, just a random pop-up. Yeah, it was very interesting that would come up during this point in time, definitely with what's going on with him. So I'm a little skeptical on what exactly that is linked to. So there'll be more to that story, though. So don't look. I guess don't read too far into it right now, but there'll probably be more released. Kyler Murray is going to be going to the NFL Combine. So he's already said that he's told the A's that he wants to go in the draft. What better way than to showcase your talents than at the Combine? What better way to allow these people and teams to see you than at the Combine, where a lot of people are going to be, a lot of teams, a lot of scouts, all of that. Shout out to Courtney Harden in the building. So Kyler Murray going to the Combine. The Steelers could potentially trade Bell after using a transition tag. So Bell is not going back to the Steelers. There's no surprise there. No confusion there. He is not going back to the Steelers. So the Steelers could potentially use the transition tag and then trade him. That may be a good look for them. That may give them an opportunity to get something back for him. So we'll see what happens with that. That was another story with the Steelers. Shout out to Clutch Conversations, my man Kev in the building. Also XFL. So XFL is going to be coming to your TV, a TV near you, in 2020. Also, they have a team that's going to be coming here in Dallas. So the news is Bob Stoops is now named the first XFL head coach and GM for the XFL franchise here in Dallas. Shout out to my man Kev, who jumped in the chat room. He put that in the X Squad chat group, so I appreciate him for doing that and giving me that information so I can share that. But Bob Stoops coming back to coaching. I am very interested to see how the XFL is going to go. You know how it went the first time around, which was not good. It was very gimmicky. It was very just not football. It was more like wrestling on a football field. They had Robin Ventura, the Body Ventura, doing some commentating. They had a lot of just weird setups. They had, now one thing that they did have was the camera, which is now used in the NFL. So they did have some innovative aspects to it, but it just did not make it. So now they're going to roll back into it 2020. Let's see what they're going to be able to do with this. Let's see if this is actually going to be something successful this time around. So I'm very, very intrigued to see how this is going to work out. Also, there's another guy that's linked to the XFL, and that is, Kev put it right there in the chat room. Pip Hamilton will be the head coach GM of the Washington, D.C. franchise of the XFL. And that's another big name. Not to mention, they have other names that are involved in this, not just wrestling people, but football people. Very similar to the Alliance American Football League, which starts tomorrow. That starts tomorrow. It's going to be on CBS, and I believe you can watch it online. But there is a lot of people, professional people in sports, in the NFL, or previously in the NFL, that are linked to this Alliance of American Football League. So I think there's going to be some success with this league because they have people that have been in it. They have Palomalu, who's involved in it. They have Justin Tuck, who's involved in it. They got Bill Polian, who's involved in it. So it's not like they just have a whole bunch of random guys involved with this. But they have some football names. They have some people that I think can help move this into being something. Now, I don't know how successful it's going to be. I don't know what their ultimate goal and focus is, but it already sounds like, and it seems like they've already met with the NFL, and it's going to be somewhat of a transition league. And the Detroit Lions have already said that they're going to be scouting Alliance of American Football League players. So, and more football is a good thing. If you're a football fan, more football is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. I think it all comes down to what's the quality of the football. Because we'll watch college, we'll watch NFL. You remember the Arena Football League? You may or may not have been watching that. So, I mean, I think having multiple outlets to watch football, I think is a good thing. So I'm very interested to see how this Alliance of American Football League is going to work. But it already sounds like it's going to be a transition league for the NFL. So be on the lookout for everything that's going to be coming down. They got, I think, 10 weeks, and it starts tomorrow. Shout out to my pops in the building. Shout out to Raider Kev in the building as well. Kev says, I loved how they didn't do a coin toss, but they put the ball at the 50-yard line and the two players sprint for it, and whoever got the ball first was the one that won the toss, basically. And that was in the XFL. But there was a lot of cats getting injured. So they kind of had to, I think they revamped that. Shout out to Eddie Moe in the building. So it's coming back, though. And like I said, more football to me is a good thing. That's not a bad thing. Having more avenues of football, more avenues to watch football, I think is a good thing. So let's get into this NBA talk. That's why the title of the show, Trades, Trades, and More Trades. There was a lot of them that went down. The big piece, Anthony Davis did not get moved. Kyrie did not get moved. But there was a lot of trades that were moved, that were done. And we're going to go ahead and dive into that. The first one I'm going to talk about, the Clippers and the Sixers. The Sixers were able to get Tobias Harris, Boban Marjanovic, Mike Scott for Landry Shamet, Wilson Chandler, Mike Muscala, a first-rounder in 2020, and a 2021 unprotected first. And I think this is a great trade for the Sixers.